Let's move on to the AFC. The Ravens are in second in the AFC North heading into their matchup with the Bengals, but can make the playoffs with a win or a loss by either the Browns or the Colts. So, Dom, we know that Lamar Jackson can run, but is his arm going to be a limiting factor for the team?
Yeah, it's a tricky question because I think the answer is yes. This team is going to go as far as Lamar Jackson's arm can take them, as long as Lamar Jackson is the quarterback there. But I think that's pretty damn far. Like, they were 14-2 last year, the MVP of the league. They got upset, but it wasn't because Lamar was awful. So, yeah, I think in this season and seasons going forward, and that's probably true of most quarterbacks or most teams. The team is going to go as far as the quarterback's arm can take them. I think Lamar is special because his arm doesn't have to be that great because everything else is built on his ability to run. So it feels like I'm taking a shot at Lamar by saying that they are limited by his arm, but if that limit is 14-2, number one in the AFC in league MVP, I think that's good enough to win a Super Bowl. And that's a good limit to have. There are lots of other teams who can't even dream about that as a possibility. I think that is a possibility as long as they have a good defense and as long as they have Lamar Jackson on offense. It matters less who they put around him because he is that special. So, yeah, his arm does limit them, but so does every other quarterback in this league.
Yeah, so and that's why I'm gonna go a different way with it. No, it doesn't limit them. They just gotta play a different way. You know, it's like if a guy is great in the post, or if a guy can hit home runs, you build things around that. If they have a certain deficiency, and I don't necessarily know if we count Lamar's arm as such a deficiency as it is just not his legs, right? It's not his athletic ability, and we heap and we critique so harshly about what he does as a passer. Listen, I'm a part of it too, right? I was a part of wanting to see him take the next step, not because I think that the way he plays football can't win you a Super Bowl or it can't win you games. My thought was, holy cow, if he starts to create plays outside the numbers, he's going to be absolutely unstoppable. It was more a want for me than a need. And I think they kind of got caught up in that at the beginning of the season too. Greg Roman had this dude who could score you 28, 30 points a game, taking the ball to the hole and dunking, and he tried to make him Steph Curry to shoot three-pointers. That doesn't work. What you got to do is play to Lamar Jackson's strength. And when his defense is healthy, when these running backs are healthy, when you have the tight ends, whether it was Ball, who's hurt early on in the season, or Mark Andrews to make the catches in between the numbers, this team is very difficult to beat. When you let Lamar be Lamar, when you let him be the best athlete on the field. And they don't need to get away from that. They need to continue to build their team around what he does best. And because it's unfamiliar and we haven't seen it, doesn't mean that it can't work.
Lamar is Giannis in this scenario. I'm glad you brought up that basketball analogy because that's the same thing with Giannis. Everybody like, if he develop a three-point shot, he going to be unstoppable. You know what? No,
and then he shoot air balls.
Not going to guard that. But anyway, Rob, just go ahead and let Lamar be MVP Lamar and get some people around him to compliment him. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying about just people around him complimenting him, because just like what RC is saying, you put the best team around the player and you try to make the best of his abilities win you football games. And when you have a quarterback like Lamar, when you're a defensive end or you're a linebacker, you have nightmares about trying to defend Lamar and the things that he can do outside of the pocket, his running ability. And I don't think his arm limits that team at all. I think that if they have a limited receiving core, or they don't have a guy that necessarily is a two tight end set, which they like to be in two tight ends, if they have two talented tight ends, that helps Lamar because he has two guys out there that can run intermediate routes. He can make all those throws. We've seen him make all the throws. I don't think his arm limits them. I think that in this season, we've seen some of the limitations are the supporting cast around him with receivers, running backs. And the year before that, he had a great running game. And what did he do? He was the MVP.
Right. I mean, he has accuracy issues. I think we would be lying to ourselves if we didn't say that was a thing that is true. He doesn't have any trouble reading. Like, he sits in the pocket. He doesn't have any trouble going through his progression. He sits in the pocket. He consistently makes the right decisions. He can make big plays with his arm, but he does have concerns with his accuracy here and there. But I don't think it's enough to be debilitating because he gives you that running threat where it's just like, we talk about no risk it, no biscuit. Lamar is the only quarterback in the league. I guess maybe you could throw Patrick Mahomes in there and Aaron Rodgers, where you get the biscuit without risking it. Like Lamar Jackson, you don't even have to put the ball in the air, and he might go for 45 yards.
I like biscuits.
He just bringing biscuits.
I like
he bring them
biscuits.
all the time. If you like biscuits, Lamar
Not my
Jackson
mama
will bring them
biscuits.
without risking it. That's what his. That's what. Oh yeah, my mama biscuits from Martin. That's what
My mama
Lamar
biscuits.
Jackson brings you. He is a guy where you don't have to worry about an interception. If you need an 80-yard play, you might get one, and he don't even have to put the ball in the air.
And here's the other thing. The Bills had a quarterback who people thought was extremely inaccurate. You know what they did? They traded the form and got him Stephon Diggs, and now he's an MVP candidate this year because of his accuracy down the field. Surround Lamar with the right people, you'll get the best Lamar.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.